Do you think you're aging at the same rate across your entire body? Do you believe that when you look in the mirror, the face you see and the feet touching the ground belong to the exact same moment in time? The answer is no. The truth is much stranger than you might expect. Mathematics and the harshest laws of gravity are telling us something unthinkable. Your body is being torn apart by different timelines right now. Every passing second, your head is aging faster than your feet. You don't feel it because the effect is too small for human senses to detect, but it is absolutely real. It happens in every heartbeat, every breath, and every cell. We always think of time as a flat, steady, and absolute flow, like a river moving constantly. But it's not. Time is like a fabric, a soft fabric, bent, stretched, and twisted by your own mass and the massive weight of this planet. The closer you are to a source of gravity, the more time is dragged down, flowing slower, as if wading through thick mud. And because your feet are closer to the center of the Earth than your head, they are living in a slower timeline. This might sound like a crazy laboratory hypothesis, but no, it is a measurement. We are talking about the nature of existence, a reality where you are not a unified block in time. You are a collection of fragments drifting at different speeds toward the future. This difference isn't just a few meaningless nanoseconds. It's the key to understanding the grandeur of the universe hidden right within your own biology. Imagine that the space around you is not an empty, silent void. Instead, it is like a giant rubber mattress or a flatly stretched spring fabric. When you place a mass on it, the fabric sinks. The heavier the object, the deeper the sink. This is exactly how Albert Einstein fundamentally changed humanity's understanding of the universe. Gravity is not an invisible force pulling one object toward another, as we once thought. Gravity is the very shape of space. Our Earth is a sphere of rock and iron weighing billions upon billions of tons. It sits heavily on the fabric of space and creates a massive gravitational well. And here is the key. This fabric is not just made of space, it is the fabric of space-time. When space is bent, time is bent along with it. Think of a flowing river. Where the riverbed is wide and flat, the water flows smoothly and steadily. But when the river passes through a narrow gorge or a deep hole, the water is dragged down, swirling and flowing slower. Earth's gravity is that narrow gorge for the flow of time. It sucks time in, drags it, and forces it to slow down. The deeper you go into this gravitational well, meaning the closer you get to the Earth's center, the more time has to wade through a thicker mud. It no longer flows freely. It is bent. It is stretched. This leads us to an undeniable conclusion. Time flows slower in places where gravity is stronger. This means every time you walk down a step, you are entering a slower time zone. Every time you lie down on the floor, you are placing your entire body into a different time flow than when you stand upright. The grandeur of this law lies in the fact that it is present anytime, anywhere, right in your own home, right under your soles. The Earth is constantly dragging time slower beneath you, while the space above your head is more open, and time there flows a little bit faster. We live in a world where altitude is not just a distance in space, but a distance in the rhythm of existence. A staggering truth that even this planet is bending our very now. But how can we be sure of this? Science doesn't operate on rumors or vague feelings. It operates on measurements. Let's go back to 1959 at Harvard University's Jefferson Tower. Two physicists, Robert Pound and Glenn Rebka, performed an experiment that still stuns us today. They placed a gamma-ray source at the top of the tower and a receiver at the bottom, just 22.5 meters apart. According to common sense, a light particle falling down or going up remains the same, but it doesn't. As that light particle fell toward the ground, toward where gravity is stronger, its frequency changed. It shifted toward the blue. It gained energy because time at the bottom of the tower flows slower than at the top. A distance of just a few floors was enough to bend the reality of light. This discrepancy is incredibly tiny, but they measured it. They proved that gravity is truly dragging time down. And if you think 22.5 meters is too small, look deep into the ground beneath your feet. The Earth's core is a massive solid iron ball where gravity reaches terrifying levels. Mathematicians sat down and calculated a shocking figure. The Earth's core is actually about 2.5 years younger than its surface. Think about that. The core and the crust were formed at the exact same time 4.5 billion years ago. But because it sits deep in the gravitational well, time at the center of the Earth has ticked a little bit slower every single day. After billions of years, that delay added up to thousands of days. The Earth is not a single, uniform block of age. It is like an onion with multiple layers of time. And you are standing right on top of that difference. You are living on a planet where time at your feet and at your head never, ever synchronize. A permanent desynchronization. We do not live in a world with one universal clock for everyone. We live in a mess of overlapping timelines, where every centimeter of height you climb is a moment you change the rate of your own aging. This tension isn't in distant galaxies. It's right under your soles and right above your scalp. An overwhelming truth that you can never escape as long as you stand on this ground. Imagine this scenario. Two twin brothers, identical in every way. One decides to spend his entire life living in a luxurious villa right by the ocean at sea level. The other, loving adventure, moves to an observatory on the peak of Mount Everest. After 80 years, they meet again. Biologically, the person living on the mountain is about a millisecond older than the one by the shore. That number seems insignificant, right? But it is a staggering truth, because it means that time did not pass the same way for those two bodies. And now, let's bring this experiment even closer. Right where you are standing, look down at your feet and look up at the top of your head. That distance is less than 2 meters, but that short distance is a battlefield of time. Your feet are closer to the center of the Earth. They experience slightly stronger gravity than your head, and so your feet are living slower. The atoms in your feet vibrate slower. Chemical reactions occur later. Nanosecond by nanosecond, your head is racing into the future faster than your feet. You think that when you stand up, your whole body moves as a single unit? No. Your brain is aging first. It is leading the race of time, while your feet are dragged back by gravity. This desynchronization happens in every cell, in every single beat of your heart. You think you are standing still, looking in the mirror? In reality, the parts of your body are racing each other in terms of time. The top of your face is aging faster than the bottom. Your heart beats at a different temporal rate than your brain. We are not a creature existing in a single moment. We are a mess of overlapping timelines. This is the most terrifying twist of the universe. The unity you feel is just a sensory illusion. Beneath that skin, you are being bent and stretched by Einstein's very fabric of space-time. Every moment you live is not a point on a timeline, but a miraculous and confusing desynchronization. You don't just live in the universe. You carry the warped structure of the universe right inside your own flesh. A reality where the now of your head and the now of your feet are never the same. This might sound like a science fiction script or a dreamy philosophical hypothesis, but it isn't. This is not philosophy. It is measurement. These are the results of mathematical equations proven by the most rigorous experiments humans have ever conducted. We don't have the right to ignore the truth just because it makes us feel uneasy or odd. The reality is that we, small creatures walking on the surface of a blue planet, carry within us the entire complexity and warp of the universe. You are not just a simple body of flesh and bone. You are a living time machine, a collection of different time flows, overlapping and desynchronized, drifting together toward the future. Time is not an enemy hunting us down toward old age. It is a part of a miraculous existence, a beautiful law that we are only just beginning to touch. We often worry about time passing too fast or too slow, but we rarely stop to realize that it doesn't even flow the same for our own head and our own feet. The greatest humility is when we realize that, even in the absolute stillness of an afternoon, our bodies are still participating in a complex dance with gravity and space. So, the next time you look at the watch on your wrist, remember that it is just a representative number. Don't just look at the seconds passing on a screen. Look at your presence right now, in this space. Feel the miraculous desynchronization happening inside your cells, because you are the most vivid proof that this universe is stranger, deeper, and more spectacular than anything we could ever imagine.